My dear Max, what can you possibly do about it?
Do about it? Don't ask me. The Baron phoned the consulate 10 minutes ago. Said to hurry over. He's in the casino. Very deep in the casino, I'm afraid. As if I could get him in to see Doresco personally.
Did you hear that? I told you, this is the place for excitement.
Oh, who are they?
Oh, they're street singers. They go around Lisbon singing songs. And when they're around, strange things happen.
No.
Yes. Yesterday, they dragged 3 bodies out of the Tagus that were positively identified as 3 gentlemen who were seen gambling in Doresco's.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh.
Lord, it's just like Monte Carlo.
Oh, better than Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo never had a Doresco. Such finesse.
I beg your pardon, madame.
He means you, madame.
Your reservations, please.
I am Mrs. Perry tonight.
Yes, I am Mrs. Sanford Richards, chairman and vice chairman of the Bar Harbor Peace Movement.
Formerly the Bar Harbor Garden and Dog Fanciers.
This way to the personal room, please. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. I wonder
Yes?
if it might be possible for us to speak with Doresco.
Impossible, monsieur.
We have come here at the invitation of the Baron Waleski.
The Baron has told me to ask you to join him in the casino.
But we would like to speak with Doresco first.
Monsieur, it is impossible.
All right.
There he is. Who's with him? Maybe...
No. It is not who you hope to see.
If you would let me see Doresco, I'm sure something could be arranged.
You better talk it over with me, Baron. But not here.
It won't be necessary to talk it over with you. You see, I'm not alone. The consul.
I hear the consulate is not as powerful as it used to be.
Thank you.
Where are you going, my dear?
To powder my nose, darling.
What?
But this is ruin. There must be someone.
Doresco's is the name of the club. It's a corporation.
I can't talk to a corporation.
If your friends will settle your debt, Baron, I'd advise you to leave and forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yes.
Very well, Mr.
Blanco,
Mr. Blanco. What do we do now?
escort these gentlemen to the consulate. You will receive a settlement. Good evening.
Good evening. Your coats, gentlemen.
How exciting.
Is there anything wrong, ladies?
Mais non, très magnifique.
Ah, madame, je suis heureux que vous vous amusez, que vous avez la place.
Huh?
Bonsoir, mesdames.
What did he say?
Tell you later.
Geen tinto amore segus, non sobe ben pintar. O amor nasina.
Mademoiselle,
I have an appointment with Mr. Doresco. My name is Maritza.
I'm sorry, mademoiselle, but if someone else can help you, mademoiselle says she has an appointment with Doresco.
Mr. Doresco's been waiting for you, Mademoiselle Maritza, if you come with me.
Thank you.
Mr. Doresco, you have misrepresented what you sold to my government. It is absolutely worthless.
My dear Oberfelder, what do you propose I do with the film?
What do you propose we do with it? I purchased from my government a motion picture of an allied magnesium plant. It turns out to be nothing of the sort.
That is unfortunate.
Then you will take it back? A refund to my government would be only decent.
Decent? What an amazing word for a German to use. Your government has been and is past master in the double deal. You might be interested to know that only yesterday I had an appointment with Yamanato, who is on his way back to Japan about a similar proposition. He was tremendously interested in a film of certain German fortifications in the Canal Zone.
I will be fully paid, Mr. Doresco, for having failed in my mission when I return to Germany. But no matter what happens to me, you will not live to commit any more crimes against the Third Reich.
Thank you, Paul.
Maritza is here.
Send her in.
All right, Blanco.
This way, please.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Your journey must have been tiresome, I'm sure. A bit of sherry?
Oh, thank you. I don't mind.
I would have immediately recognized you anywhere from the description.
Description?
Yes. Our mutual friend telephoned from Istanbul and painted the most vivid word portrait of you.
Oh, I see.
May your great success continue.
Thank you.
I knew about this letter when you were halfway across the Pyrenees.
What else do you know?
Oh, simply what all Europe knows. That you are Maritza, one of the most gifted dancers in the world. And then I have a bit of private information. That your legal name is Maria Mazarek. That you were born in Pilsen, Czechoslovakia, February 28th, 1920. That you're an orphan, single. That you want to leave war-torn Europe to continue your career elsewhere. Correct?
There is some truth in it. I do want to go to America.
So you want passage out of Lisbon?
Yes. Our friend told me you were the only one who could arrange it.
I'm greatly indebted to him. Yes, I think I can arrange passage for you. It would be a pity if a career such as yours were to end prematurely because a stupid war interferes with it. But trip of passage cannot be arranged overnight. There are priorities, passport, visa formalities. I might be able to get you out next week, but perhaps not for a few months.
I know how difficult it is. I was in Budapest 6 months, unable to dance.
Yes, but this is Lisbon. You will be able to dance here.
Here?
At Teresco's. It so happens that I'm in immediate need of a dancer. I'm particularly interested in offering only the finest entertainment to my guests in the Persian room. It will be an excellent arrangement for both of us. I will have a great dancer. You will be able to continue your career. Besides, I pay well.
I have no choice. There'll be a contract, of course.
Of course. With one specific clause I must insist on. You may not accept invitations from any of the guests, nor speak with them. And you will not leave Teresco's unescorted. I'm sure our friend will appreciate this protection.
I'm sure he will.
Your engagement starts tonight. I was just about to ring for you.
Yes, I know.
I want to draw a contract.
Oh, I beg your pardon, but before you start to dictate.
Yes?
The clipper arrives in 20 minutes.
Oh, yes. Blanco, I want you to take my limousine, call for Mr. Vanderlyn at the airport, escort him immediately to me. Be careful, he has many enemies.
I'll leave now.
And now I want to draw a contract. the motor running.
An American clipper from New York and Bermuda arriving 9:01. An American clipper, New York to Lisbon, on schedule. Clipper arriving 9:01. Clipper arriving. Clipper arriving 9:01. Clipper arriving.
You know, girls, you're gonna love Lisbon.
Where did you come from?
Where did I come from? Where do you think? Clipper can't fly here by itself, can it? Ah, wise guy.
Hey, Bill.
Well, looky here, my best friend and most severe critic. Now, what are you showing your face around here for? You're really sticking your neck out.
I want you to get me out of here day after tomorrow on the Clipper.
Why, sure. I'll shield you from your public.
This ought to take care of it.
Yeah. Say, if I want you, where can I find you? Same place?
No, I had to move. If you want to get in touch with me, find our old friend Murgatroyd.
Hey, what are you looking at? Oh, look.
No, thank you. I can't stay very long. I hope Mr. Doresco understands that.
He does. We'll go this way, please.
Imagine there's Mr. Vanderlyn. Didn't we hear him at that round table discussion at the Hague?
Yes, but I thought the Hague was very dull, didn't you?
I certainly did not.
Doresco said it was all right for you to come up this way.
Why? Is there anything unusual about this elevator?
No, but no one uses it except Doresco and the people he's sure of. He's sure of you. How do you do, Mr. Vanderlyn? Thank you, Blanco. Please sit down.
Thank you. As you know, my government sent me to you regarding John Craig, the eminent war correspondent. This is the confirmation of the verbal instructions I was asked to give you.
Did your government fully agree to my terms?
They have agreed. It's in the letter. It might simplify matters if I told you something about John Craig's background. He was at the front in Burma as a war correspondent, and later, after the death of a well-known Allied operative, he was picked up near Fujisan and taken to a prison camp in Burma, where he later escaped. We have every reason to believe that he has in his possession such startling and important information that it could do our country irreparable damage.
I see.
He is in Lisbon, and your assignment is to find him.
Find him? How? There are many people now in Lisbon.
Yes, this may be of help to you. That photograph was taken when the China Clipper came into Shanghai with several Allied figures. It is an interesting coincidence that the young pilot standing there near Craig is now on the Lisbon run. I saw him with Craig at the airport tonight.
You did?
When I looked again, he had vanished. However, that should give you a pretty good idea of what he looks like. Of course, his expression has changed, but then in Shanghai, Craig was not a hunted man. In fact, he avoided his own people, knowing that we were looking for him near every American embassy and Allied consulate.
And this is a confirmation.
Yes. If you don't mind, I shall run along now.
Oh, I must insist on your staying a while. You've come a long way. I've been accused of many things, but never of being inhospitable. I want to show you one of the most picturesque views in the world. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss it, no matter where you've been or what you've seen. The view from this tower is my one and only vanity. You see, I always wanted a house of 1,000 rooms and 1,000 wonders. Built on the highest point so that I could overlook Lisbon and the river Tagus. I wanted it built with its foundation sunk in rock and the rock sunk in water. And here it is. You will agree with me, it is one of the most exciting views in the world. Don't you want to look now? What a pity for a man of your profession to suffer from a fear of height.
Not at all, Mr. D'Oresco. In a career such as mine, there has never been room for fear of any kind. It'd be rather late in life for me to start cultivating fear.
There are only two ways out of the Rescos. One is the way you came in, Mr. Vanderlyn.
It wouldn't be difficult for me to figure, Mr. D'Oresco, that you have been asked to dispose of me. Hasn't it occurred to you that my death has been asked for because I, as well as Craig, might know what the secret information is? Of course, I realize that I've become too well known to be effective in my work any longer. Naturally, I would be, because I was close enough to the Allied side to know some things that my government does not. You might say that I was wise enough when I came here to have a way out of D'Oresco's, which would be my own way.
In other words, you mean it would be unwise of me to end our discussion prematurely?
From your point of view as well as mine, Mr. D'Oresco. And now, if you don't mind, it's been a long journey. I'm rather tired.
Yes, it is rather late. Well, perhaps tomorrow when you will be rested.
Perhaps.
I hope you will like your rooms.
Oh, I had my luggage sent to the Imperial.
I trust you will enjoy your stay at D'Oresco's. Good night, Mr. Vanderlyn.
Good night.
Reservations?
Yes, Flanagan.
Oh, yes, Captain Flanagan.
That's right.
How many in your party?
Just one.
This way, please.
Wait a minute. Could be two.
Understand.
Thank you. Isn't he a fine young man? Oh, he's charming.
Maritza is going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, D'Oresco is honored to present for the first time in Lisbon a new star for his International Persian Room Review. Ladies and gentlemen, the famous and lovely Maritza.
Come in. Who is it? Who is it, Mr. D'Oresco?
Yes.
In a moment, please.
Maritza.
Just a moment, Mr. D'Oresco.
Hello.
Good evening. My name is D'Oresco.
Mine's Flanagan, Bill Flanagan.
I didn't know you were expecting company, my dear.
Nor did I.
Don't you think that this is rather...
Well, you see, her dancing is so wonderful. Well, you can't blame a fellow for wanting to meet her and tell her so.
And perhaps ask her to join him somewhere after the show?
Well, I hadn't hoped for anything like that, but it's a swell idea.
I'm very sorry I can't.
Oh.
But, Maritza, in the case of this American flyer who pilots the clipper between Lisbon and New York, I think you should be persuaded to make an exception to your rule.
Well, let's go. Thanks, fella.
I want you to leave immediately, and none of your customary impatience.
But if he slips out of our hands?
Don't forget, this is big business. And in big business, one has to wait for the right moment.
Very well, sir.
Two more glasses of pinkish champagne.
You know, Maritza, a fella gets lonesome. I think about it sometimes up there at 10,000 feet. No ceiling. And the fog rolling beneath me. You make with the sweet and low, bud. I think about one night I'm in New Delhi. Then I think about another night I'm in a rickshaw in Shanghai. And then I get to thinking how it feels to be all by yourself on a Sunday afternoon down there in Cape Town. I guess I'll go on like that. The guy sure gets lonesome. Hey, waiter. Waiter!
What's the matter?
Hey, who do you have to know to get some service around here?
Why, I just to bring him in.
Oh, what do you mean? Do you mind if I have a glass of champagne?
Another glass of pink champagne.
Take this bottle of red ink over to Mr. Bill Flanagan and see that he gets a whole loaf of Italian bread with it.
But he ordered a pink champagne.
He will drink the red ink and be loving it. And a whole loaf of Italian bread for Mr. Bill Flanagan.
Say, how you know his name? I don't know even your name. You just come in last week.
I only look like an Irish bartender named Murgatroyd. I have come to blow up Lisbon.
Oh, what a beam we could be on, Maritza.
For Mr. Bill Flanagan.
Hey, what's this? I ordered... Murgatroyd, I almost forgot. The international bartender. You've got to meet him. Murgatroyd, me lad.
I'm glad to see you, my boy.
Maritza, this is Murgatroyd.
How do you do?
How do you do? Every night, whenever him and his friend was in Shanghai, they came to the Flowering Plum. No matter where they was, they always wound up at the Flowering Plum, out of courtesy to me. So I could see what was with them and pass on it. I would place you in the top 10.
Thank you.
On second thought, in the top 5. You know, it was a fine thing to watch him and his friend at work. He could be anywhere. He could even be down at the beach in a place like Esterel. He could even be in an old wine cellar, for all we know, couldn't he?
Sure, he could be in Estoril, he could be in a wine cellar, he could... Oh, Maritza, will you be a regular Joe? I mean, a real lovely, and wait here for me? I'll be right back.
Wait here for you? I'm afraid not, Mr. Flanagan.
Oh, Maritza, you don't understand.
I understand.
Murgatroyd will keep you company.
I would be charming.
I'm sure of it. But it still would be possible for me to keep a very interesting engagement at the Resco's.
No, Maritza, I couldn't let you do that. I'm going to have to save you from yourself. Waiter! Waiter!
All right. What's the matter, Mr. Flanagan?
Look, Bub, I want a flock of spaghetti, a bunch of antipasto, and some lobster diavolo. Hey, wait a minute. And wrap these up. Get moving, will you?
All right.
Esterel is beautiful.
You'd make Brooklyn beautiful.
Bill, please tell me something.
I'd tell you anything.
Well, Murgatroyd said I was in the top 5.
At the very top.
Bill, please tell me about the other 4.
The other 4? Well, there was Angela. She was about 5'2". She had blue eyes, dark hair. She always wore red. I love red, don't you? Then there was Corinne. She came up to about here on me. She was a taffy-colored blonde. She used a perfume called Moonstruck. She was a chain smoker, but she made the best curry in Calcutta. Oh, and then there was Dolores. Maritza...
Oh, you were going to explain why you are bringing a bottle of wine to a wine cellar.
Well, there's no wine there anymore. You see, this is for old John.
Old John?
Yeah.
What did he do? Drink all the wine?
No, he's just taking care of the place. You see, old John is a sort of a caretaker.
Oh. Let me help you.
Oh, no, thanks. You see, old John is so old that the least little bit of excitement, his pump is liable to conk out like that.
For the love of Mike. Hey, what's the idea? First you leave me a lot of messages, then you try and kill me. What gives? Here.
Murgatroyd gave me the idea you might be needing food.
Murgatroyd was right. I was in hopes you'd show up. Nice cozy place back there.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got your passage on the Clipper for you.
Oh, thanks for getting it. Say, anybody know you came out here?
No.
Nobody outside of Murgatroyd?
Mm-mm.
About a half hour ago, I thought I heard prowlers.
No, there's nobody. Just the Portuguese guy that drove me out here. And a sort of a girl.
Sort of a girl.
Yeah. But don't worry. I didn't give away your hideout.
No.
No.
I see you didn't.
Maritza, I want you to meet my best buddy, pal, and boyhood companion.
Hello.
I hope you'll forgive me, but I was afraid, sitting out there alone in the dark. I'm sure old John will understand.
Oh, John.
Yes, well, well, goodbye, old John.
Oh, John.
Instructions are perfectly clear?
Perfectly. You must have conclusive proof that Oresco, owner of the house of Oresco, has been engaged in crimes more serious than running a gambling casino.
Much more serious. We have reasons to believe that the Resco is a clearinghouse for espionage. As such, it's been watched and frowned upon by the Allied governments. Portugal is determined to clean it up. The Resco has destroyed in one way or another others who have tried what you are trying. If you wish to change your mind, it isn't too late.
I do not wish to change my mind. I welcome the opportunity.
Naturally, you will have every protection. Nino and the street singers will afford you with that protection.
But it was our understanding the Prince of Minico would have passage. He's been on the waiting list for months. You don't happen to know who has the priority? Oh, I see. Well, thank you for your courtesy.
Nothing of the kind. Yes?
The space on the Clipper for tomorrow night has been canceled.
Cancelled? Who has the priority?
Naturally, I asked. Naturally, I received no answer. It couldn't be John Craig.
What would I do without you?
I've often wondered myself.
But if he's leaving tomorrow night, I better go down to the wine cellar and do it in a hurry.
I don't want anything done in a hurry. If Craig has until tomorrow night to make the Clipper, I want him here until then. And alive. Understand?
Yes.
You wanted to see me?
Yes.
I have a fitting at 11, escorted, of course.
That will have to wait. Evelyn, please cancel Mademoiselle Maritz's appointment at Nanette's.
Yes?
Thank you.
If I'm to dance here, I will need new costumes. Especially if it is to be an extended engagement.
Perhaps not so extended as you may expect. What would you say if I could arrange your Clipper passage for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night? But
But what?
But I can't believe it. It seems incredible. How are you going to do it?
It will depend on you. It would involve a cancellation.
Oh.
A sudden cancellation. I hope you understand that I wouldn't part so readily with Maritza the dancer if it weren't for the fact that you could be of greater value to me as Maria Mazarek, the woman.
Yes, but how?
Please sit down.
Thank you.
You went last night with Captain Flanagan to a deserted vineyard in Estoril. There you met a gentleman named Mr. Craig, a friend of Flanagan. You must have gathered that this Mr. Craig had not chosen a wine cellar for his comfort or his health.
That would be rather odd, wouldn't it?
I think it would be much healthier for Mr. Craig if he would stay here at the Rescos instead of in a damp cellar. I would like to think that both of us have his interest at heart. You see, I could arrange your Clipper passage for tomorrow night in place of Craig's. You want to continue your career elsewhere, don't you?
Oh, that would be wonderful, Mr. D'Resco.
Well, to further your ambition, you wouldn't object to administering a drug which would guarantee your place in the Clipper?
Hello.
Hello.
I hope you don't mind.
Mind?
I happen to be riding along the beach and...
Riding? You weren't just riding by.
No.
Well, you may as well tell me.
It's about, Bill.
Hmm?
It is about Bill.
Well, what about him?
I met Bill last night. I danced at D'Resco's. He asked me to go out. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what to think. He's so sure of himself.
He always is. My dear Maritza, why don't you stick to your dancing?
What do you mean?
It's all very touching. A charming little entertainer asking advice about a big lug of a clipper pilot. My dear Maritza, I saw you dance at the Café de Paris and various other places. Unfortunately, your reputation preceded you. A guy like Bill Flanagan couldn't mean anything to you.
What a temper.
It's obvious that I haven't any business here, nor do I want any company. It wouldn't be hard for you to figure out that I didn't want anybody to know where I was, would it?
Not at all. Has it occurred to you that I don't want anyone to know where I am?
No.
Especially today. There are many people in Lisbon, for many reasons. Now that I'm here, there isn't very much you can do about it, is there?
I guess not. We were talking about Bill Flanagan. He's a swell guy.
I'm sure he is.
He's a grand guy. He's one of my best friends.
I'd better be going. It's late. It looks like a storm.
Would you care to stay for dinner? I'm a good cook.
Oh, wonderful.
Fine. I'll find shelter for the horse. You'd like to have me show you around?
No, thank you.
It's a very interesting place. It used to belong to an order of friars, secret formulas and all that sort of thing. They made a kind of a wine that I never heard of before.
Nepenthe.
Yes. Strange that a religious order should name a wine after a pagan belief. See, the ancients used to believe it was a magic drug, and if you drank enough of it, it'd make you forget things you didn't want to think about. That's why they called it Nepenthe. Not a bad idea at that. I could use a little myself.
I don't know how you've been able to stand all this. You must have a very good reason.
I have. Well, let's drink up to forgetfulness.
To forgetfulness.
You didn't suppose I was going to drink this, did you? Under the circumstances, there isn't any reason why I should trust you or anybody else, is there?
No, there isn't. But you're perfectly safe. If you don't believe me...
I thought you were going to sample the wine to prove that it was all right.
It isn't necessary. You don't believe me. I can't stay any longer.
Wait a minute.
There was nothing in your glass. I was told to put it there, but I don't always do what I'm told. I know enough about you, Craig, not to want anything to happen to you. I think I know what you're doing in Lisbon, and I wanted to help. You haven't given me a chance to tell you that I really came here to warn you. Craig, you've got to be careful. Dresko is going to...
Listen, this is John Craig. I've been asleep. Where am I? All right, then, what time is it? What day is it? Neat little job they did. Well, come right in.
Oh, D'Oresco asked me to tell you to expect him.
D'Oresco?
Yes.
Oh. This is nothing but an upholstered prison camp. I'm used to prison camps. I got out of one once.
But I don't think you will succeed again.
No?
You see, in camp, you were one of many. Here at D'Oresco's, you're the one and only special guest. And I will give you my personal attention, coming to a man of your importance, just as I did last night to your cellar.
I suppose you turned everything upside down.
I did.
But you didn't find anything. That's why you're standing there and I'm sitting here.
Correct. I still need some information from you.
Look, D'Oresco, I've been haunted and chased and it's taken a lot out of me. But what makes you think I want to turn traitor now?
There is nothing further from my mind. What you don't seem to understand is that I have absolutely nothing against your government. I'm perfectly willing to sell what you've been clever enough to discover at my price. What do you think?
I think you would sell to the highest bidder at that.
Correct.
It's only a matter of hours before the Clipper leaves. It's impossible to make a deal now.
That's a minor detail. If you insist on dealing directly with Washington, you may rest assured that there will be an associate of mine in the vicinity to help you close the deal.
You mean if I'm lucky enough to get out of Lisbon, I might not be able to contact official Washington alive unless I do it your way. Is that right?
Correct.
That's what I thought. But before you go into business, you've got to have something to sell. And right now, Mr. D'Oresco, you haven't anything to sell.
Not right now. Blanco! Mr. Craig is my guest. I want you to show him every courtesy. Feel free to come and go as you wish.
What are you supposed to be around here, a poor man's D'Oresco or vice president in charge of dirty work?
Oh, I find it interesting.
Killers bore me. I've seen too many of them.
I may be your last one.
That's a pleasant thought. Would you mind if I get some air, or would you like to join me?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
And if I refuse to?
You can't. You've signed a contract. D'Oresco says you dance tonight. It wouldn't look well for the house if you didn't appear, and naturally D'Oresco's anxious to keep up appearances.
You tell D'Oresco for me that I know my position perfectly. But it won't be to his advantage to treat me as a prisoner.
I don't know. Why are you different from anyone else?
You look very well behind bars.
Craig, I've been so worried about you. Are you all right?
All fine, thanks to you.
I tried to tell you, to warn you.
Did you? It's a nice job your compatriots did of needling me to sleep.
But I'm as much a prisoner as you are.
Sure, sure.
Craig, please listen to me.
I was just coming in. You mind showing me around?
Yes, if you wish.
I should like to go downstairs.
Yes, Mr. Vanderlyn.
If you're plunged into hopeless debt, D'Oresco gives you the key to his secret tower. What shanty is it?
I suppose this little tour includes a view from the tower.
What tower?
bets. Number 10, black.
That's me.
Cash 'em in. Bored so soon?
No, only with you.
Well,
Can't take it with you.
that's right. Here today, gone tomorrow.
Place your bets.
I don't know how Duresco manages to show a profit. Does everybody in the place work for him?
Wouldn't that be impractical?
Not much difference in the prison camp at Burma, is it, Mr. Craig?
Practically the same thing.
If you leave here, which of course you won't, wouldn't it be just the same as when they picked you up near Fujisan?
Maybe. If you're through playing 20 questions with me, it's my turn. What's your racket?
Tres noir.
Well, looks like we're both losing.
Faites vos jeux, mesdames et messieurs, faites vos jeux. Faites vos jeux, mesdames et messieurs, s'il vous plaît. Rien ne va plus. Faites vos jeux, s'il vous plaît.
Straight bourbon.
Yes, sir.
I'll pour it myself.
Water.
Scotch and soda.
Hey, Blanco, why don't you call off your dogs? Can't you handle me yourself?
Sorry. We don't mean to make you uncomfortable.
Faites vos jeux. Vos jeux sont faits. Rien ne va plus.
You see, nothing's happened after all. Even they went home in disgust. Come, Agatha, there's still a smuggler's den down on the waterfront.
But more. If nothing happens to Duresco's, where will it? We've traveled 5,000 miles, and now is not the time to give up.
Oh, come on. I've listened to you long enough. Oh, the darling, he's here again.
Ah, see? I told you.
Ich verlange meinen Revolver zurück. Ich habe noch einen anderen gebraucht dafür.
Nicht hier, Herr Baron.
Anything wrong, Mr. Craig?
No, everything's all right.
Faites vos jeux.
I'll be right with you, Mr. Craig.
I'm sure you will.
Hey, have you got a steel vest I can try on around here? Did anybody ever hit you? There you are, I brought my own. Just you and me alone.
No, monsieur. Il faut jouer ici.
Yeah, that's what I said. I brought my own. I'll shoot $2.
Don't do it. They're loaded.
Hey.
They're always loaded.
You're in the cellar.
Sure, I'm in the cellar. And it still leaks.
Faites vos jeux.
Act drunk.
It's a good idea.
Act like a pest. Look, if I don't get on the clipper, I want you to take something to G2 in Washington.
G2 Washington? Take what?
It's in the cellar at Estrell. Candle.
Well, that's fine. Whereabouts in the cellar is it?
Look, there's a candle holder.
Yeah?
2 of them are all right. But one of them.
Yeah?
Now listen carefully. One of them.
Yeah?
Act drunk.
Now, look. I'm your pal. What's more important, a pal or a dame?
Oh, get away from me.
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, so you won't get out, huh?
Amore cego non so ben fintar. O amor nascida vista.
I forgot to tell you, Mr. Craig. My name is Vanderlyn.
Means nothing to me.
And yet we have traveled identical courses and arrived at the same destination. We should join forces.
Teresco tried to join forces with me just a little while ago, but it didn't work, Mr. Vanderlyn. You see, I still believe in an old bromide. He travels fastest, who, etc., etc.
Quite so, but you are in danger.
So are you. Who are you trying to kid? You're a very scared man. A very scared little man.
Not anymore, Mr. Craig. You see, I know where your secret is. Below in the casino, I rather enjoyed the fight you had with your friend. It may work, but that's the oldest trick in the world, Mr. Craig.
It is? Well, if you think I had any luck driving anything through that thick skull of Bill Flanagan's, you don't know Flanagan. He's a good guy, but slow study. Now, I wish you were right, Mr. Vanderlyn, because if you were, I could wait here, relax, and not have a thing to worry about. Well, good night.
But, you see, I know what your secret is.
What are you going to do about it?
Use the information to buy back my life. Do business with Teresco.
Well, good night, Mr. Vanderlyn.
Craig, I'm so sorry. If only Bill could have helped you.
Help me? How could he help me? Listen, Maritza, well, if the guy had any brains in the first place, he wouldn't have bothered with you.
Craig, please listen to me.
What are you worrying about? Your life isn't in danger.
I wouldn't care if it were. If you would try to understand. Don't you see? The time is too short for you to have any doubts. You must trust me. Please. For your own sake.
And just knocking your precious little bar won't stop me.
I'll stop you. There'll be no more drinking tonight. We have work to do.
Oh, yes. So much unfinished business. Craig, Vanderlyn, your little Maritza. Kind of work I do best when I'm not quite sober. You understand that, of course. That's why there are so many drinks on the house. So many drinks on Teresco.
Evelyn, give me that glass. You've had enough.
Oh, no, not yet. Enough is when Teresco begins to look exciting and romantic. Enough is when I forget I can never leave here, no matter how hard I try. Enough is when you seem clever and powerful, and I don't remember you just as a man who cheats, steals, and murders.
Oh, excuse me.
Come right in, Mr. Vanderlyn. They say the river is very cold, Mr. Vanderlyn. But you don't even feel the water. Your heart stops before you get that far.
Thought I'd better bring him up here. He was out on the balcony talking to Craig. He was saying that...
It wasn't necessary for me to come up here under surveillance. I wanted to see you.
And what was it you wanted to see me about, Mr. Vanderlyn?
I know what Mr. Craig's information is.
Really?
It's a film.
It wasn't very difficult to draw the conclusion that whatever Craig's information may be, he needed proof. Concrete, visual proof. And what could be more visual than film?
I not only know what it is, I know where it is. And I can send for it at any given moment. Wouldn't you like to know how? So you see, Mr. D'Resco, I did not come here defenseless and unprepared after all. A certain movement of this blind will serve as a signal for my confederates.
Your confederates?
Yes. Wouldn't you like me to demonstrate how my plan works? How very little time it would take to set me free?
Yes. Go ahead.
What's the matter?
I must see D'Resco, and he won't answer the phone.
I'll take you to D'Resco. Follow me.
I'm afraid you've overplayed your hand, Mr. Vanderlyn. I've received certain orders from your government concerning you, and I must execute these orders, even though you might have told me the truth. But you haven't told me the truth.
Yes, I lied. I was afraid. I have no information. I have no confederates. I have only my life. I don't know why, but I still want that. Please. Please.
Blanco, come here immediately.
Is D'Resco supposed to be in here?
No, my dear, but you'll find him. Just press that button.
Take care of him.
Very nice of you to keep Vanderlyn company. I think you ought to keep him company all the way. This may not be the D'Resco's method, but for once it will have to be mine. After all, you were very anxious to leave Lisbon in a hurry, weren't you, mademoiselle?
If I were you, Blanco, I wouldn't do anything without D'Resco's approval.
D'Resco will agree with me that you have worn out your welcome.
Blanco! How unfortunate.
She was in the elevator with Vanderlyn. Now there are two to take care of.
Complaining, Blanco?
Not at all. Life has been very uneventful lately.
On second thought, I shall pay Mademoiselle's future my personal attention. All right, Blanco, go ahead. It will all be over in a minute. It's unfortunate you had to witness this incident. Blanco. I'm afraid it cannot be avoided.
After all, Mr. D'Resco, you had planned on my appearing tonight in the Persian room. My absence would be noticed. Your guests would be disappointed.
Minor detail.
Perhaps a minor detail in the Persian room. But have you forgotten my letter of introduction?
Equally minor.
Do you think our mutual friend wrote that letter of his own accord? Someone whose acquaintance you have yet to make is very interested in the house of D'Resco. It may be necessary for you to go into partnership. I have merely been the advance agent. You might call me the connecting link. I'm afraid Mr. D'Resco won't need you any longer, Blanco. Not for the time being.
I never did believe in partnerships.
We should stick to our original contract, D'Resco. It will be better for both of us. If Craig dies, I will become an accessory before the fact. It would be better for me to leave Lisbon in his place on the Clipper, and safer for you once I'm out of the country.
And what about your feeling toward Craig?
It would be foolish of me to have any feeling at present.
After all, perhaps they would miss you in the Persian room tonight. The Clipper leaves in an hour and a half. He's had time enough.
Time for me to show him his way out, isn't it?
He's in here?
Yes, sir.
Tried to leave?
No, sir.
Well, I hope for his own good he's made up his mind.
And if he hasn't?
Trouble with you, Blanco, is you're very impatient. Everything in its own good time. I thought you said he was in here.
Six international tycoons just came in.
Do you think 6 of them could finance one of these?
Let's wait till they come out of the casino.
Hello.
Hello.
Say, I know a little place down the street where we could have a few laughs. All right?
Lovely.
Let's get out of this fire trap.
Oh, maybe. This is a lovely sight. Oh, I love such a place.
I think you better go back, Mr. Craig. Haven't you forgotten something?
Well, it was a nice idea anyway, wasn't it, girls?
Well, where can we get in touch with you?
Where I'm going isn't in the Lisbon phone book.
Well, I never been more insulted in all my life. Come, Agatha.
Your check, sir.
Forget it. It was last year's anyway.
Your coffee, sir.
Hey, I didn't order this.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, D'Oresco regretfully presents the final appearance of Maritza. For immediately following her performance tonight, Maritza is leaving Lisbon.
It was Evelyn's idea.
Just where am I following you?
There are 3 ways out of D'Oresco's. The street entrance, the tower, and the sub-cellar. You'll make the Clipper in plenty of time.
I never thought I would.
You will now.
Not without someone to see me off and wish me luck. And not before we make one stop. Let's get out of here.
Follow me.
Wait here. D'Oresco wasn't kidding. He really turned this place upside down.
Very depressing in here, isn't it?
Very.
I see the young lady is in her way as loyal to you as this young lady is in hers to me. My dear Maritza, it is very foolish for one woman to ever trust another. I'm disappointed in you, Craig. For the first 3 months after your escape from Burma, your flight was successful because you never were where anyone expected you to be. But now you seem to have lost your talent for doing the unpredictable. After I let Maritza and you escape, it wasn't very difficult to guess that you'd come back here. Now, where did you hide it?
In one of those vats.
In which one?
It's hard to tell which is which.
My instructions from the Japanese government are not to let you leave Lisbon alive. If you prefer to die quickly and painlessly, be kind enough to find the information. You see, Mr. Craig, I've never failed in an assignment yet.
Please let me go a minute. Well, that's out of my system.
D'Oresco, regardless of what you, the High Commander of the Japanese government, do, you'll never find out what's in this. It was entrusted to me by a friend who lost his life in China trying to get it out of there. He didn't know what was in it, and I don't know. And the only ones that'll ever know are G2 in Washington.
The
Clipper Pilot Flanagan, report to operations. Clipper Pilot Flanagan, report to operations. Clipper Pilot Bill Flanagan, report immediately to operations. Clipper Pilot Bill Flanagan, report immediately to operations.
Not many more minutes left. Leave it to Flanagan to be late.
And you'll take it back with you. And when you do, it will mean so much to your country, to my country, to the people here in Portugal, working for the peace of the world.
I've done what I could. Where have you been?
Where have I been? Where have you been? I get back to Doresco's with the American consul, 17 policemen, Murgatroyd, and...
One good woman in a pinch is worth 10,000 muscle-bound pilots. Flanagan, did you know this little lady is the pride of the Secret Service?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go. After all, my good fellow, who's going to fly you back to America if I'm not? Oh, and Maritza, if you're not going to sit on his lap, I can use an assistant navigator.
I'm sorry, Bill. I can't make it this trip.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
It's gonna be awful lonesome up there at 10,000 feet.
Well, that's what Bill says.
I have many words of my own now. People who live dangerously must do it alone. Maybe someday we won't have to live dangerously anymore.
Maybe. Someday.
Clipper passengers embark immediately. Clipper passengers embark immediately. Pan American Clipper leaving for Bermuda and New York. Pan American Clipper leaving for Bermuda and New York.